Okay, so welcome to our One World Energy Encounter with the Zohar. This week is Shmini. We're at verse 1. And before we get started, a couple things to think about. First of all, we just finished Passover. And so we've entered this period of Passover represents this freedom, this release. So like it's the energy of anywhere in our life where we feel like we're trapped, where we feel like we're stuck, where we feel limitations. Those have been blown away. The gates have been blown away. But we didn't really deserve it. We hadn't worked for it. It was like a gift. So we're now entering the period of earning the redemption that we received. And it's a 49-day period. And today's the 8th day of those 49 days. The 50th day is when we reach the finish line, which is the holiday of Shavuot, which literally is the energy of immortality. When Moses went up the mountain, Mount Sinai, and the revelation took place of immortality, we received this amazing amount of wisdom, and that became our work to share that with the world. It's a couple thousand years. I don't know. We've made some progress. Probably made a lot of progress, but that is the energy that we're in right now. Every day is another step closer to that mountain. So we're literally earning that redemption after we received it. And there are 7 weeks in those 49 days, and they correspond to the 7 Sfirot. So last week was the first week of Chesed, mercy. We're already, as of last night, into the second week, which is Gvura, which is strength and judgment, and so on. So the first week is Chesed, this week is Gvura, next week is Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and then Malchut, manifestation. So this is the journey we're on. And within each week of a Sfirah, there's the Sfirah of the day. So today is the first day of the second Sfirah of Gevurah, and so that gets us back to Chesed. So today is Chesed of Gevurah, mercy in the judgment and in the strength. Tonight and tomorrow will be Gvurah of Gevurah, strength of strength, and so on. And so part of what we want to do is, it's all about consciousness, to connect to the energy of that day on this journey. Every day is another step up. To connect it, we just want to be present to what that energy is, and there are tools for that, which we can talk about offline. So, but now we're in the portion of Shmini, which we haven't had much of a time to connect with this week because this week has been like all about Passover in the 7th day. Shmini, while we're on the topic of numbers, means 8. The high priest, Aaron, Moses' brother, secluded himself in the temple, in the tabernacle for 7 days, and then came out on the 8th day. And so 8 always represents 7 represents our world and the realm right above it. 8 is one more. Excuse me. 8 is one more. It's Binah. It's the world to come. It's one of the 3 upper Sfirot. And so that's the energy we have available to us this week, above typically what we do. And 8 comes to play in a lot of situations. Circumcision, 8th day. Number of days of Hanukkah, 8. 8 shows up. 8 is always one step beyond.
My life number is 8.
There you go. No surprise how you ended up here.
Straight to the path.
So this is the energy that we have, that we're in contact with. And with that, we begin our Zohar reading for the week from the first paragraph of Shmini. Oh, by the way, let's invite in the lineage of the Rav and Karen Michael, Rav Ashlag, Rav Brandwein, the Uriah Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rav Mazulai, Rav Menachem Mendel Vitebsk, Rav Kelowna Shapir Piasetzin, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, all the students, Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl, one soul with Joseph the Righteous, Yosef at Tzaddik and Shem. Today is the anniversary of the elevation of Rav Moshe Mitzrani, the Mabit. So we have his assistance also. And as we connect to these verses, from wherever we are connecting to the upper realm through these letters, through these verses of the Zohar, the realm of fulfillment, the flawless universe, the realm where all the healing, all the blessings, and all the fulfillment exists. And so we want to think about everyone we know who needs healing, and all the people we know who have pain in their lives, who are looking for fulfillment, who need to break through the klipot, the blockages that they have. We want to also think about manifesting the energy of ahavat chinam, unconditional love, and treating everyone with human decency. Those aren't just empty words. You can look around and there's a real lack of human decency in the world. So we want to channel that and also unconditional love. Okay, verse 1. Vayhi b'yom hashmini v'gomer, Rabbi Yitzchak b'tach baran yachad kochvei boker v'yari'u kol b'nei Elokim. Zakain inun Yisrael de kuchabrichu yahiv lon oraita kadisha chedvavta dechola chedvavta de kuchabrichu v'it yaluta dile dichtiv ve'yeh she'ashuim yom yom v'oraita kulo chad shema kadisha ihi de kuchabrichu v'oraita it bere alma dichtiv ve'yeh etzlo amon al tikre amon ela uman. Rocky.
And it came to pass on the 8th day, Rabbi Yitzchak.
9:1. That is the title verse for this week's portion, the first verse, and for which the verse is named. So that's why it's called Shmini, because it's literally the third word in that opening verse. Okay, keep going.
Open the discussion saying, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of Elohim shouted for joy.
Okay, so Rabbi Yitzchak is going to help us to understand the inner energy, the deeper significance, the sod, the internal energy of that verse. And how's he going to do that? By bringing a verse that relates to it energetically from the book of Iyov. So that's why those two verses are there. We're going to unpack the meaning of that title verse for Shmini. And the tool he's using is a verse from Iyov. And of course, at face value, what does it come to pass in the 8th day have anything to do with the morning stars singing together? And do morning stars actually sing together? And when they do sing together, literally or not, all the children of the Creator shout for joy. So the first thing we should take away from this is this energy of joy, which is not easy to find. I'm just saying. It's not so easy. And if it's not easy, if you find it difficult to connect with joy in your life, you're normal. And I say that coming from a place of self-compassion. Just acknowledge it. I'm reading a book right now called Bittersweet. It's about bitter and sweet, literally. Stacey, you read it? I just started. So it's this idea that, we go through life, we experience pain. We don't have to experience suffering. We experience pain. And some of these painful moments are sweet at the same time. And it's important to not be overwhelmed with this consciousness of the challenges that we have. It's easy to be overcome. We all get overcome. It's easy, but that's why we need to work on consciousness. Because we want to maintain a healthy perspective. We always want to be moving forward. And when we get knocked down, we want to get back up again. And so much of what we do is working on how we view events in our life. And we all have it going on at some level. Nobody escapes this. Nobody escapes the up and downs of life. It comes with the territory. It's like if you're going in the water, if you're going deep sea diving, you're putting on a suit and you're taking an air tank with you. If you are manifesting in the physical world, you're putting a suit on, body consciousness. And with body consciousness comes self-preservation. Body consciousness. I gotta watch out for myself. If I don't, who is? Well, of course, the light is, and your soul is. But we're not present in that. This body consciousness is so overwhelming that we lose sight of the fact that we are souls on a physical journey, not physical entities who sometimes have a spiritual experience. That's how we perceive it. Hey, I'm a physical being, and every so often I get lucky enough to have joy, have a spiritual experience. No. That's body consciousness overwhelming us with what our senses present to us, which is physicality. So if you're just going to rely on your senses, you are just going to be stuck with physicality. That's why it's called a sixth sense, or a third eye, or being heart-centered. We need to connect to soul. Your soul's never upset about the stuff that goes on. There is a blessing in the morning connection, which we call the Yosha, which is a couple of minutes before we say the Shema. And there's a teaching that when you say the Yosha, you should laugh. And some people say the Yosha, ha ha ha. Why? Why do we do that? So the deeper teaching, which I learned recently, which was a game changer for me. Yes, you want to be happy about that paragraph, but that's not what it's about. That, but then deeper, what it's about is if you could perceive your world through the eyes of your soul, the stuff that you encounter, you'd be laughing at. Oh my God, this is so serious. Your soul's like laughing at you. It's not so serious. Really, look what's going on. No, your soul does not have that perspective. So by laughing at our circumstances, I mean, I don't want to take them lightly. They're serious. But your soul knows that it signed up for this. This was exactly the way things are supposed to play out, so we can do our work, so we can do our elevation. And so to that degree, we approach it with a laugh. Your soul knows it's temporary. The soul isn't. But what we experience at a body consciousness level is temporary. So again, when we connect to 8, we're connecting to Binah, we're connecting to literally the world to come. We're connecting to the reservoir of fulfillment. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever lack you experience, the fulfillment is in Binah, is at the 8th level. All right, well, I don't have it. I ordered the pizza. It's not arrived yet. Oh, no, it's there. I can see it. It's in the oven. It's cooking. It's there. It's not there. I'm literally sitting here. It's behind the counter. It's there. We just have to find a way to manifest it. And the more we understand about how the world works beyond our 5 senses, beyond physicality, beyond our egocentric consciousness, the more we understand, the more we can manifest. Because we manifest it with consciousness. And so the first opportunity that we have in this study is to deepen our understanding of our own lives, of our world, of our soul's purpose, of our ability to manifest from that 8th level of Binah, of potential, into manifestation, this world, this realm. Okay, let's continue.
Blessed are Yisrael, because the Holy One, blessed be he, has given them the holy Torah, the joy of all, the joy of the Holy One. Blessed be he and the place where he walks.
Okay, so what is the most prized possession we have? My home, my 401k, my family and friends, the love of family and friends. What is the most prized possession? We're blessed because the Creator gave us a book. Really? It's not a book. It is a book. It's not a book. It's on a scroll. It's letters on a scroll, on parchment. It is literally a book. It's not a book. No, 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 no. It is not. If we look at it as a book, we are stuck in body consciousness and physicality. And it is not a book. It is a channel to the upper realm. Every letter combination, that forms a word, every word combination that forms a verse, every verse combination that forms a weekly portion is a unique cocktail. That's me with my martini shaker. It's a unique cocktail of energy that we have the opportunity to connect with and to manifest blessings, to manifest healing. That's what Torah is. It's a delivery system. Again, it's like my dumb metaphor, potato chips. Potato chips are a delivery system for salt. Torah is a delivery system for the energy of the upper realm. Of course, it's our most prized possession. It gives us the ability to manifest fulfillment and blessings and healing. Of course, it's our most prized possession. Well, how do I do that? Step one is understand it's not a book. But aren't we the people of the book? I mean, look, that's just a marginalization. That's all that is. It's not to be taken seriously. I don't know if you hear the background noise, but they're doing drilling somewhere in my building. That's not my office. Anyhow, so let's open our mind up to this idea. The second opportunity we have today is this idea to view Torah not as a book, to view it as a delivery system of energy, of healing and protection and fulfillment from the upper realm. And by studying the Zohar, we are unpacking all that because the Torah itself is coded. I mean, how can you say like the Holy Torah, the joy of all, the joy, what's joyful in the Torah? I mean, yeah, there's fun, nice things that happen. There's also like crazy, difficult, painful things that happen.
Yeah.
Well, there you go with the bittersweet again. That's like a lot like life. But ultimately, it's not a book. Rabbi Shimon says, if we wanted to tell a story, we could have hired writers to write a much better story. It's not about the story. It's about all these things that come to us, and they're all important. And yes, there's rules, there's guidelines, there's guideposts, there's the positive commandments, which help us manifest positive energy. There's the negative commandments, which help us avoid connecting to negativity. So the road is set by those sets of guidelines. It's literally the boundaries that we work with if we want to channel blessings and energy of protection, energy of healing, and energy of fulfillment. So of course, from that perspective, it is joyful. If I don't have fear, what's there to be upset about? if I know it's all going as planned, as the way it's supposed to be, it's a joyful life. So again, in this context, this is us connecting to joy. And remember, as we've talked before, joy is internal. You have the capacity to connect to joy on your own. If we rely on externals, it's limited. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Well, there's an old Yiddish expression. It's like sneeze off an emes, like sneezing on the truth. Anyhow, let's continue.
By the Torah was the world created as it is written. Then I was by him as a nursling. Do not pronounce it as Amam, but as Uman, which is literally an artificer, for it was his instrument of art for the creation of the world.
Okay, so this gets to the title of this article, which is Man Was Created by the Torah. How can you say that? What does it mean man was created by the Torah? I thought the Creator created man. So what the Zohar is saying to support that is this idea that the verse that I was by him as a nursling, Amun, that would be like this idea that the Creator created man. We were the nurslings of the Creator. But there's another way to read the word, not as Amun, but Uman, which is an instrument. Meaning we're channels, we're here. As I said, your physical consciousness is here to create a safe space for your soul to do the work it needs to do the work, to be on the journey, to encounter the challenges that we came here for, to release the light that the Creator wants us to release in the world. Each one of us uniquely has a job, has a mission. Everyone is different. Oh, they look the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're all dressed in black and white or if we're wearing color. It doesn't matter. That's outside. That's the exterior. It's always about the internal energy. And each one of us has a unique mission. There's no duplication here. It's like every letter in that Torah scroll is unique. There's no extra letters, not one, let alone extra words. There's no typos also. There's not a single extra letter, and there's not a single duplication of souls here. It's a big job to fix the world, and each one of us has a unique role. And that's like I don't want to judge anybody else for what the journey they're on. I'm having a hard enough time figuring out what my role is.
Tell me about it.
I mean, it's that's universal. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that are asleep about it. And then there's people who merit to have an enlightened consciousness about it. Who are those people? Those are the people who fall within this, the children of Israel. That's what it says. If you're here, you're part of the mission to share this wisdom with the world. Well, how do we do that? One soul at a time. Last I checked, it's the best way. It's really the only way. And most of the time, how do I do that? I work on myself. I work to fully manifest the best version of myself. And in that way, I am a tool. I am a channel for the light of the Creator. There's this idea that, you know, it's like, how did you're in some kind of circumstance, like, how did this happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. It was in your movie for a reason. You're always in the precise place you're supposed to be for your journey. I mean, can I make a wrong turn? Not possible. It's not possible. You can't make a wrong turn. You might perceive it to be wrong. It's not. It's exactly where you're supposed to be to reveal the light you're supposed to reveal at that time, at that precise place, at that precise moment. There's no other way to look at it. The only way to look at it is like, well, there's a world of chaos, but it's not. It appears chaotic. So we have the opportunity to elevate in the context of the work that we're doing.
I've heard that when you're doing something, and that kind of what you just said brought it up for me, is when you're doing something and it feels chaotic, that's your plan, right? Because God's plan, the Creator's plan, has no chaos in it, a disruption. You know, that wrong turn is not a wrong turn.
There's no such thing.
You know, it's actually where you should be at that precise moment.
Absolutely. I want to share another mind-blowing teaching that I learned when I was in LA for Passover that David Guillaume taught in one of the lectures that he did. This is really, I think this is really so insightful. We make mistakes. Guillaume's like, I make mistakes all the time. We make mistakes. So how are we supposed to look at those mistakes? Now, I will tell you, I picked up from one of my teachers over the years. When I make a mistake, what I say to myself is, you know what? I did make a mistake, but it was an opportunity for me to learn how to handle something because there's a bigger challenge coming up, and now I'll be prepared for that. That mistake was to position me to do it right next time when there's more at stake. Okay, well, that I can live with that. I mean, it's all about, there's no such thing as a mistake. It's all just like learning on your journey. So that's level one. Now we're going DEFCON 5 on this. What David Guillaume says, based on his study of the Kabbalists, what he read was, you didn't make a mistake. The Creator pushed you into it. Creator forced that mistake. I mean, think about the most lame brain thing you've done. And I'm not here to share them, but I've done some doozies. We all have. I mean, I really epic oversights that have had crazy consequences and repercussions. We all do. And I'm just saying, when I think about the Creator pushed me to doing that, it makes so much sense. It actually makes sense on a deeper level because it forced the whole other sequence to play out. Was that whole sequence of playing out also mistakes? No, by design. The whole thing was by design. If I was going through life in a fearless way, it wouldn't matter. What gets in the way is the fear. And I'm Cancerian, we got a lot of that. Throw away the fear. It's all playing out exactly the way it's playing. I know, but no, seriously, look, the trajectory I'm on, it's crazy. No such thing. Exactly the way it's supposed to play out. You didn't make a mistake. The Creator forced you into it, pushed you into that. Because it needed to play out that way. Andrea, you have a question? Something to say?
Yes. So, the typical answer is we make mistakes because we have to learn. But, there's more to it. Like why would the Creator push you into a mistake? You just said things have to play out. Is it to break you of your fear? Is it to...
That's one level.
Like, what are the deeper levels of why?
Well, look at that. You won't merit to see it right away.
Mm-hmm.
You won't merit to see it right away.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in a relationship and you say the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I can't believe that got by my filter. No, get by your filter, but you were pushed into saying it. You don't control that. I mean, we try to restrict, but that we weren't able to restrict there. That had to happen, had to play out that way because it created a whole succession of outcomes that needed to happen. And sometimes that slip up, that mistake, wasn't even about us, it was about the other people in our lives.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It was our experience and their experience. Forgive yourself quickly, because you can't afford to drag around that negative energy. Because that's debilitating.
Yes.
That will stand in the way of our spiritual growth, of our ability to more fully manifest who we are on this journey. You didn't make a mistake. You did, but the Creator pushed you into it. Yes, Stacy.
So why do we also get the gift of like guilt and shame? If the Creator like
That's
puts
not a
us,
gift.
but I mean that's kind of what happens, right? If the Creator is pushing us into a scenario where we make a mistake, we view it as a mistake, or it's not aligned with our, you know, expectations, we get all of this internal, like you said, negativity.
Yeah, all this internal noise and oh my God, I can't. Those are the tools of the other side. Guilt is a tool of the other side.
So when I make a mistake, I should be joyful that the Creator put me in this terrible situation.
Well, it's tough to be joyful about it. It is bittersweet though.
If I can say something,
Yes, please,
Elisheva will
Andy.
say that Elisheva would tell me, because as a Gemini, I do this often, that you made a mistake, move on, next. There's more light in moving on and saying, I made a mistake, I own it, no guilt, I'm human.
Oh yeah,
But
totally own it.
we lose light when we ruminate in our head. So we just do it, get it over with, next.
Yes, and I totally, but I'm saying something even deeper than that. I'm saying you were pushed into it by the Creator. Look, here's another news flash. Nothing exists without the light of the Creator, and that includes you. So that means you have the light of the Creator inside you. The light of the Creator, this is one of the teachings, and I think it was something that Michael discussed in the past few weeks. The Creator doesn't make little insignificant things. After all, it's the Creator that's making them. The Creator made you. Yes, the Torah was the tool, we're the tool. The Creator made you. You are made by the Creator. You can't be more significant than that. Your significance is unlimited. Who do you think you are to criticize yourself, the work of the Creator? I'm just saying. Now, look,
So David,
yes.
this just came up and it was just like news flash. So speaking of mistakes, the light of the Creator, elevation, the ego, the destruction of the ego, right? The Dalai Lama. What do we do with that? I mean, how do you know what I'm saying? We
Listen,
society
even Mother Teresa made mistakes. They're not just captured on video. If you're here, you're imperfect. If you're here, you're imperfect by definition. The Dalai Lama is an elevated guy. He makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
That's a prime example.
Maybe the Creator pushed him into that for among the reasons, so we'd have something to talk about. It's a great illustration of the point.
Is that the destruction of the ego? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you're
all
burning
of that
it away.
It lines up to the destruction of the ego.
Experiencing humiliation, you are burning away the ego, the body consciousness.
Thank you, love.
Hey guys, I've got
Suzanne,
something
yes,
to add.
please, I saw your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have this beautiful story.
Oh,
I think this will really help everybody to pick up.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Suzanne.
There's a children's book called The Little Soul in the Sun. It's a children's. I recommend everybody pick it up, and you don't have to buy it, but just pick it up. I gave it to my godson, and I gave it to him after his parents got divorced. He's like 9 years old, and it talks about this little soul that's in heaven, and he tells God, he's got a happy-go-lucky life and everything's great. And of course, it's a children's book, and he says, "I want to learn forgiveness." And God says, "Really?" And yeah, and he kind of keeps pressing, I really want to learn forgiveness. And so, him and I read the book. It was like Christmas time or something. And, he was not he wasn't happy that his parents had separated, right? Like he felt, right, like, of course he would. And so I said, maybe, just maybe, sometimes, your life and sometimes my life hasn't always been so peachy. You know what I mean? Because he saw my parents go through some stuff and this and that. And I said, what do you think? What's our option, bud? What's our option? And he's like, yeah, forgiveness, right? I said, yeah, I go, we might not get it all in this moment, but we came here to learn something, which is what everybody's been sharing. But it's just really kind of cool that this little book that's like 25 pages long is so succinct. And it's this beautiful reminder.
It's a great message. It's so important for us in all places to find ways to move past those life experiences. I'm not saying we don't want to forget about them. We don't want to bury them. We want to own them. And we want to grow from them. And so, the power, and again, one of the things that we come away with from the study today, as we connect to level of Binah through 8, through Shmini, is this paradox that we experience, which is a world in which body consciousness is just so overwhelming. And the more we recognize that, the more we can see and connect with the soul that's inside of us, the more we can get past the mistakes that we've made and the mistakes that other people in our lives have made that we learn from. The more we can trust in the fact that this is a journey and we're going to encounter challenges and it's bittersweet. And the more we can forgive and let go of the things that we've encountered for other people, but number one, forgiving ourselves, because ultimately those things that we did were necessary for our journey. And if we hold on to them, we're just dragging along all this extra baggage, which slows us down, which keeps our consciousness in a low place. And so the amazing opportunity that we have is to rise above all that and continuing to rise above that as we go through this 49-day period of the counting of the Omer. It's Sfirah to Omer. It literally gets translated as the counting of the Omer, but the Sfirot are actually the 7 Sfirot and 7 levels of each, 7, 7, which gives us 49. Remember, before we were sprung out of Egypt, before our consciousness and our souls were liberated, we were at the 49th level of negativity. We didn't merit that emancipation, that freedom. It was a gift from the Creator. And so now we're earning it. And that's the journey we continue on. And one of the people we really need to forgive is ourselves. Because all these things that we've done, the missteps, the mistakes, the unkind words, the reactivity, that's all on our movie for a reason, to give us the opportunity to grow and move past it. Okay, everybody, we're out of time. Love you all. Shabbat Shalom. See you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom all.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back.
Thank you. You too.